Peace, power, and prosperity, family. This is Amir, the Chicago crypto hustler, Bitcoin block bully, coming to you once again with the early rise crypto update. New Money Matrix podcast. What's going on, family? How we doing out there in the crypto space? What we're going to be going over today is WBTC or Wrapped Bitcoin, which is an Ethereum-based token that is going to be the stable coin to Bitcoin. Now, listen to what I'm telling you. They've created a stable coin to an already existent cryptocurrency, as if that already existent cryptocurrency was the actual currency. We get what I'm saying here. Let's get into the story, and I'll explain more as I read and go over the new token as it is, because it's not a coin, it's a token. You got to know the difference. For those that don't know the difference, I actually go into the difference in my book, The Puzzle, The Enigma Behind Bitcoin and Cryptocurrency, which is available now. You can contact me for copies. Anyways, getting on to the story, which was released the 31st of January, so a couple of days ago. And it took me a while to actually get down to doing the research on this. And then when I did it, I'm like, damn, like, I got to bring this to the family, and I got to give my view on what I see happening. Now, I have already spoken on the fact that since really 2009, 2010, 11, 12, specifically 16, 17, 18, and now leading into the 19, people have been able to basically create and print their own money in these times and days. I don't know if anybody else sees that or gets that when you see a new cryptocurrency project come out. You know that you can create your own cryptocurrency. It doesn't take a big team. Now, do you need a team to get everything pushed forward? Yes, but what I'm speaking on is just creating a cryptocurrency, be it a token, actual coin. It's all just coding. And there are platforms out here that allow you to make tokens now without having to have a background in coding. So if I'm able to create a currency, create a token, and give that token value, have I not just created value out of thin air? Let's get on with the story. Ethereum-based Wrapped token backed by Bitcoin launches. Wrapped, or WBTC, an Ethereum-based token backed by Bitcoin, has launched January 31st. According to a press conference on the news network's website, the currency is a joint initiative by blockchain security firm BitGo, which we'll take a look at them later on, Kyber Network Liquidity Protocol, and others. So this is pretty much like a project that has been put together by a number of different institutions, corporations, or corporate entities that have come together and decided to tokenize the great Bitcoin itself. BitGo announced the development of the coin backed 1-to-1 with Bitcoin in October of 18. A statement by the firm then said that Wrapped Bitcoin will provide users with a wide variety of new decentralized use cases, including on decentralized exchanges, as collateral for stable coins or lending for payments, and flexible smart contracts within the Ethereum ecosystem. And let me explain what they just said. Basically, what they're stating is that now you can go on to a lot of platforms that were only open to ERC20 tokens, that Bitcoin itself as a protocol was not able to integrate with or be used on. You can now use this representation of Bitcoin on these platforms now. So basically what they did was they opened up the door for you to utilize something like Bitcoin, though it's not Bitcoin, in order to transact within another jurisdiction, being the Ethereum ecosystem. And that's my take on it. WBTC is an ERC20 token, which are tokens designed and used solely on the Ethereum platform that makes to streamline the creation of new tokens. ERC20 tokens provide a sort of template by which developers can build a new token, sparing them from coding a new crypto from the ground up. I was just speaking on that. Create money from thin air. Wrapped Bitcoin will purportedly allow for new applications and use cases for Bitcoin on the Ethereum network. A press release from WBTC Network states that by bringing Bitcoin's liquidity to Ethereum, WBTC also makes it possible for traders to use Bitcoin value for token trades on decentralized exchanges. The press release also says that all WBTC smart contracts have been audited by third-party firms. It further states that proof of reserve showing an exact 1-to-1 ratio of minted WBTC to BTC is observable on-chain. Pricing data for WBTC is now available on CoinMarketCap, which is key. At press time, the coin is trading at $3,504, which is slightly higher than Bitcoin, which is trading at $3,501. And don't be surprised if this thing, when you try to stabilize something, don't be surprised if it leads course and creates its own lane. In September of 2018, I mean, we've seen that happen with USDT, USDC, True USD, PAX. I've seen them go on runs and leave the United States dollar, or the value of the United States dollar they're supposed to be tied to. In September of 2018, Bitco became a certified cryptocurrency custodian. You need to go really research what custodian is, and not in a Webster's dictionary in the Black laws or any type of legal dictionary. Anyways, it says Bitco became a certified cryptocurrency custodian. When I read that, I see Bitco as being more so like a trust, or operating in the way of a trust, which basically makes it a trust, meaning it's a contract to hold an asset. In my opinion, what they're doing is they've created a contract where they'll hold an actual asset for individuals to do commercial transactions with. So I almost guarantee they're the ones who actually have the Bitcoin, while their team or whoever has created this new currency and is allowing individuals to turn in their Bitcoin for this new currency. And thus, they will actually hold the Bitcoin, and you'll just have something that was created to represent the Bitcoin. Almost the equivalent to what they did with the dollar when it was made to represent gold. And what happened? They split. The dollar no longer represents gold now. It's its own entity. But it goes on to say Bitcoin became a certified cryptocurrency custodian through the acquisition of a state. Oh, well, I'm gonna tell y'all something. I do not read a lot of these articles before I bring the information to y'all. So I'm reading this for the first time. And it goes right into what I was just stating. Bitcoin became a certified cryptocurrency custodian through the acquisition of a state trust company charter in the American state of South Dakota. As such, the firm subsequently became subject to regulatory oversight and compliance with Know Your Customer, or KYC, and anti-money laundering AML policies. And maybe I do need to start reading these stories before I bring them to you. But the thing about it is that the three platforms that I use, or the three websites that I usually pull my stories from, being CCN, Cointelegraph, CoinDesk, and Bitcoin Insider, they've been pretty on point as far as keeping their information on the up and up. So all I really was looking for were stories about wrapped Bitcoin, and this is one of the first ones that popped up. Now, with saying that, we are moving over into the actual website of WBTC. Now, surprisingly, when we go on Live CoinWatch, before I can get over there, when we type in WBTC, it is not being honored on Live CoinWatch. Though, when we come over to CoinMarketCap, as they just stated themselves, WBTC, it is honored by CoinMarketCap, which is the portfolio or the website that most of the world and major crypto enthusiasts use as far as keeping track of price action for different tokens. So right now we can see the rank number 1,935. Now, I'm sorry for the pause, family. What's very, 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 very strange about that. Yeah, for those that have been following me for any amount of time, you already know I'm into numerology and such things, metaphysics. Looking at the rank number of 1935. Okay, so I'm gonna give y'all my view on this, right? I already spoke on it a little bit. In my opinion, Wrapped BTC is the fiat version of Bitcoin. Now, I'm gonna break down what I mean by that. When we once had gold and silver, which to this day is still constitutionally legal money, fiat notes or bank notes, Federal Reserve notes, is not money. It's not. It's a form of a means of exchange. It's a debtor's note. But anyways, when we look at the United States dollar and what it was supposed to be representing at the time, which was the gold, you know what I mean? When you spent a note, you were supposed to be able to go and turn that note back in for the actual commodity or the actual thing of value, the asset that it was backed by. Now Federal Reserve notes are backed by nothing but the full faith and credit of the American people, which is your labor, which is something totally different. But it's almost the same when we look at what's going on with what they've done with Bitcoin. So just like the feds now can just print money, right? Man, this is ingenious. What I'm seeing happening anyways. These companies have created a trust, right? Where they will hold the Bitcoin in the trust, meaning they won't own it. The trust is going to own the Bitcoin. So it's asset protection at its finest, minimum contact in a way. But what Wrapped Bitcoin is doing now is, okay, since you can't use, it's just like gold. You don't want to walk around with a pocket full of gold trying to spend it in places. So they were like, okay, we'll make a separate entity for you to go do transactions with. So just like you can't take Bitcoin everywhere, right? You can't go on the Ethereum platform. You can't go on decentralized exchange markets. What we have done, or what this company has done, is created a now new currency out of thin air. Once again, we've created a new currency that will represent Bitcoin, that you will be able to go on other platforms and transact with. Like, man, I hope y'all catch what is really, really, really going on here. This is beyond amazing, what's going on in this space, just with this story right here. I hope y'all catching it. Let's see. Let's look at the price action and the difference. So this is Wrapped Bitcoin versus USD. This is Bitcoin versus USD. Let's see, where do we start on Wrapped? Their price line starts January 30th at 1200 hours. January 30th at 1200 hours. So this is January 30th at 1200 hours right here. So let's do this. Where was we at? January 30th, right there. Okay, so that is our lifeline. This is our lifeline of Bitcoin right now versus USD. This is our lifeline of versus USD. Same day, same everything. So let's see how that compares. For those, now for the listeners, what I'm doing right now is I'm showing those that can view, and you can check this out on YouTube. It'll be on my Chicago Crypto Hustler page. We're looking at the candlestick formations of both WBTC and BTC, just seeing what type of comparison they have, and they have somewhat of, what's that, February 19th at 1700. February 19th at 1700. Yeah, so they got a pretty close formation as far as the movement goes. It's pretty close. It's not far off at all. Getting into the website now. So we're looking at WBTC.network, and it says do more with your Bitcoin. Wrapped Bitcoin delivers the power with the flexibility of an ERC20 token. This is actually ingenious, but at the same time, you're still giving up your actual Bitcoin for another coin that represents the Bitcoin you gave up. And remember, when you give up the Bitcoin you gave up, you're giving it up to another entity that holds the private keys to where the Bitcoin is stored. So you're giving up ownership, right? Or control. Let me not call it ownership, because in my opinion, a lot of these are like trust, whereas you can control them, but you don't actually own them. You're giving up control of your Bitcoin to another entity that now holds the private keys. So if at any time you just wanted to go get your Bitcoin, you would have to wait for this entity to actually release the Bitcoin to you. So Wrapped Bitcoin is the first ERC20 token backed one-to-one with Bitcoin, completely transparent, 100% verifiable, and community-led. Once again, I'm gonna break this down for y'all again. They have created a token that we'll just say, for instance, they created a token that if you turn it in, you have to turn in Bitcoin in order to get it. We're getting to it. So look, this is the community. Remember what I was just telling y'all about makers? What we're looking at right now, for those that are listening in, we're looking at the community of corporations, corporate entities that are backing this joint venture. So we got Kyber Network, Kyber Swap, AirSwap, REN, DDEX, which is decentralized exchange, BitGo, SET, Compound, Maker, which is a cryptocurrency we were looking at earlier, Dolomite, OMASGO, which is another cryptocurrency, Dharma, Pricto, IDEX, which is an exchange market I'm familiar with, Gnosis, which I'm going to be checking out because I know what the Gnostics are and I know what Gnosticism is. I'm going to see what connection they have with using the word Gnosis, Gnosis. Radar Relay, Blockfolio, which is a mobile cryptocurrency portfolio tracker, which I have used for the last 2 years. In fact, I think one of the highest viewed videos on my YouTube channel is the Blockfolio video with, I think, an excess of 100,000, maybe 80,000 views. The Switcheo Network, which is another cryptocurrency that I know a lot of individuals are behind. BCX, GoPax, Loopring, ETHFinex, SYSX, I'm Token, CoinGecko, Hydro, Uniswap, and the Ocean. So those are the companies as of right now. That is what they're calling the community, or the companies that are backing this. Now we go along. It says, why do we need WBTC? They go on to say WBTC brings greater liquidity to the Ethereum ecosystem, including decentralized exchanges and financial applications. Today, the majority of trading volume takes place on centralized exchanges with Bitcoin. WBTC changes that, bringing Bitcoin's liquidity to decentralized exchanges and making it possible to use Bitcoin for token trades. Now, remember, you're not using Bitcoin. You're using a fiat version of Bitcoin. Always remember that. You're not using Bitcoin. I don't want anyone to get this misconstrued. WBTC standardizes Bitcoin to the ERC20 platform, creating smart contracts for Bitcoin. This makes it easier to write smart contracts that integrate Bitcoin transfers. Maintaining various nodes and managing transaction types in order to support multiple currencies can be onerous. Onerous? I don't know. Now exchanges, wallets, and payment apps only need to handle an Ethereum node. So they're basically saying that where once Bitcoin was not able to venture, it can now venture with the use of WBTC. Like I said, which is, it's a damn good idea, but at the same time, they created it that in there. Welcome to the first token that makes Bitcoin compatible with the Ethereum chain, jointly initiated by Kyber, Ren, and BitGo. And there goes your holy trinity right there. There goes your holy trinity: Kyber, Ren, and BitGo. If you're going to do any type of research, I would research those three companies first. WBTC DAO, or Decentralized Exchange Organization, I believe. The addition and removal of merchants and custodians will be an open source controlled. Listen to this. These sounds like trustees working in the in an administration capacity. So it's saying the addition and removal of merchants and custodians will be an open source process controlled by a multi-signature contract. Keys to the multi-signature contract will be held by institutions as part of the WBTC DAO. Remember, they said the keys will to the multi-signature contract will be held by institutions. And you have, let me see, merchants. Merchants perform key roles for the WBTC community as administrators who initiate the process of minting newly wrapped tokens and burning wrapped tokens, which is performed by the custodians. Yeah, this ain't nothing but a trust put together, and everybody working in their certain capacity. You got beneficiaries, trustees. Let me see, the custodian, grantors. The custodian provides reliable institutional grade security for your WBTC. All WBTC issued will be fully backed and verified through on-chain proof of reserves. And they're allowing people to become a partner. So let's get into how it works. Here we go. This is the process we're looking for. So it says receiving. To receive WBTC, a user requests tokens from a merchant. Okay, the middleman. The merchant then performs the required KYC and AML, which, remember, is know your client and anti-money laundering procedures, meaning they want to know your information, ID, births, possible copies of the social, but they definitely want to utilize your social security number and acquire that trust company in order to transact with this trust company. It goes on to say the merchant then performs the required KYC AML procedures and verifies the user's identity. Once this is completed, the user and merchant execute their swap with Bitcoin from the user transferring to the merchant and WBTC from the merchant transferring to the user. So it's a peer-to-peer transaction, but once again, what you're doing now, anyone could have did this. I could have did this. Oh, okay. Don't worry about it. So what they're doing, right? Oh man, I love when I love when I get downloads when I'm building. So what they're doing, right? You're giving your gold up or your digital gold. Man, this is ingenious. They're acting damn near as the Federal Reserve acted in 1930. That's what I wanted to get to. 1933, 1935, I believe House Joint Resolution 192 was put into play. So let's see, what is 1935? The Banking Act of 1935. That's what it was. That's what came to my mind. So the Banking Act of 1935 was passed as part of Franklin D. Roosevelt's comprehensive economic reform package as the New Deal. It expanded two existing federal institutions, the Federal Reserve and the Federal Deposit Insurance Corp. Wow, and this right here, who I'm telling you, is tied so close to acting in the capacity of a Federal Reserve note or a banking note to Bitcoin. Man, the similarities is out of this world. I definitely gotta cover this more. So, there we go. So anyway, so what's going on is you're turning in your digital gold and they're giving you a banknote in this form of ERC20 token. That's all that's happening. The ERC20 token at the end of the day, though, it can be redeemed right now for 1 Bitcoin. But remember, you're giving up your actual value and giving it to somebody else. I don't know if anyone's been following what's been going on with the US, the UK, England, and Venezuela. But the Venezuelan government had their money, their actual money, which is the gold, the value of the country, put within a bank. They gave ownership of it over to another entity, right? They went over and tried to withdraw their gold out of that entity. The entity told them no. But now remember, the country still has a bunch of Federal Reserve notes. Venezuela doesn't. They have notes. Those notes is nothing compared to what they would have if they were able to obtain their gold, which is the actual value. So remember, when you're getting into the WBTC thing, comprehend that you are giving up your actual Bitcoin for another token that allows you, yes, to transact on the Ethereum network and such. But I want you to be conscious of the fact of the transaction that you're doing. It goes on to say, once this is completed, the user and merchant execute the swap with the Bitcoin from the user transferring to the merchant and WBTC from the merchant transferring to the user, smiling all the while. It's developed for traders, institutions, and dApps, which is decentralized exchange applications. Traders, limited to ERC20 tokens, decentralized exchanges suffer from low trading value and liquidity. With Wrapped BTC, users experience increased liquidity and participation. The Ethereum network processes transactions faster than the Bitcoin network, but Bitcoin holders don't have to wait anymore. With WBTC, moving Bitcoin between exchanges is much faster. Family, and don't get caught up in the word. You're not moving Bitcoin. You're only moving a representation of Bitcoin. Remember that. Remember that. That's the hardest thing that I try to get people to comprehend about money. Anything you do with a check book, a check, a Federal Reserve note, a banking note, you are dealing with debt instruments. These are debt-based instruments. There's no value to them. All you're doing is writing off a debt or discharging a debt or paying a debt with a debtor's note. You're not giving it something of added or equal value. Handling multiple currencies across different nodes and transaction format is no longer a concern for decentralized application users like exchanges, wallets, and payment services. WBTC combines the benefits of Ethereum and Bitcoin, making it simple to handle the wrapped currency with only the Ethereum node. And getting on to the dApps, decentralized applications can now leverage Bitcoin payments and smart contracts for lending protocols, funds, prediction markets, and token sales. I think we go back to traders. Yeah. Okay. So, let me see. I think we went through what is WBTC. We've been through all that, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, we have. So, I mean, that's pretty much their page. We went into what I want to pay attention to. Let's see. Are we able to? Yes, we are. Let's take a look at Bitco. Because what is it? Bitco, it was Kyber Network, or was it Kyber Swap? I know it was Ren. Let me see. Who were the 3 top head honchos? Who was the Holy Trinity here? Let's go back and look at the original story. Let's see. Was it this story that Bitco, Kyber Network? Okay, so it's Kyber Network. Let's go back. We got Ren, we got Bitco. Let's pull up Kyber Network. So these are the 3 head honchos right here. Let me see. Enabling decentralized token swaps everywhere. Kyber's on-chain liquidity protocol allows decentralized token swaps to be integrated into any application, enabling value exchange to be performed seamlessly between all parties in the ecosystem. Okay, so I can definitely see why they would want a Bitcoin equivalent in order to come. Okay, it's making stop. It's making sense now a lot more. Unstoppable privacy. What I'm looking at now is renproject.io, another one of the third. Transfer tokens in zero knowledge, trustlessly swap between blockchains, trade on a dark pool, and build any privacy preserving application. Never reveal anything. Wow. Wow. Family, when I tell y'all the amount of, remember, when you operate in a commercial jurisdiction, you operate in the public or in the private. Anytime. The same thing they're allowing you to do within this cryptocurrency world. They're allowing you to operate in the public or the private. That's what I'm seeing. A suite of privacy-focused tools for dark pools and other financial applications. Application layer, the dark pool layer, interoperability layer, zero knowledge transactions. Let's see what this is. I'm very interested. Store and transfer tokens from any blockchain without exposing wallet balances or transaction amounts, enabling sensitive over-the-counter deals and eliminating front running. Use this tool to build your own completely private settlement layer. Wow. Yeah, this right here, I'm already seeing. Okay, BitGo. Now we're going over to BitGo custody. Excuse me, it's BITGO, BitGo custody. And like I said, this is nothing but a trust. BitGo custody, modern custody for modern assets. The leader in security, compliance, and custodial solutions for blockchain-based currencies. Largest Bitcoin processor. Check this out. They do in excess of 15 billion in transactions per month. I'm gonna say that again. 15 billion Federal Reserve notes, or the equivalent to 15 billion Federal Reserve notes in transactions per month. Multi-currency platform, 100 plus tokens and coins supported. Wow. The Royal Mint, Zcash, Dash, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, Stellar, Ethereum, Ethereum ERC20 tokens, XRP, and Bitcoin. They're trusted by market leaders. Market leaders chose BitGo to solve today's most complex business challenges in digital currency. And something that I never thought about, just because of my introduction into cryptocurrency and how I came through the door in a truly sovereign state of mind. You got to understand that there are people out there with excess amount of money that do not trust themselves to handle their own affairs. Like, I never really got why somebody else would want someone to hold their private keys or manage their wallet for them, to whereas they really don't know the information, but they trust this other entity to know the information and take care of any and all affairs. But what I'm understanding is that that is basically how a lot of the world, especially the United States, has been programmed into thinking that you cannot handle your own affairs. That's why we don't think in a sovereign state of mind. We always think in the state of someone's going to help me with this, someone's going to help me with that, versus, look, I need to do this on my own. I need to do that on my own. With saying that, that's why you have so many companies now that's like, okay, you don't want to trade cryptocurrency, we'll do it for you. Just buy it, send it over, and we'll, you know what I'm saying, we'll take care of it for you. That definitely interesting. Let's see. BitGo custody company. Let's see. Let's go to the about. Okay, making digital currencies usable for business in a regulated economy. Right now, we're looking at BitGo, which is one of the top three of the holy trinity of this new entity called Wrapped BTC. BitGo is the market leader in institutional cryptocurrency financial services, providing clients with security, compliance, and custodial solutions. Wow, 2013. In 2013, we introduced the industry's first multi-signature hot wallet. Today, BitGo is the world's largest processor of on-chain Bitcoin transactions, processing 15% of all global Bitcoin transactions and 15 billion per month across all cryptocurrencies. BitGo supports over 100 coins and tokens and has over 2 billion in assets in wallet. Our customer base includes the world's largest cryptocurrency exchanges and spans more than 50 countries. In 2018, we introduced BitGo Custody and launched BitGo Trust Company, the first qualified custodian purpose built for storing digital assets. And check this out. Peep who these people, this entity is backed by. BitGo is backed by Craft Ventures, DRW, Galaxy Digital Ventures, Goldman Sachs. That should speak volumes right there. Redpoint Ventures, and Valor Equity Partners. Family, what you're not seeing is the people and the entities that are behind the faces that they're showing you. Remember, there's a lot of big money in this space, a lot more than what I think people give way to. You know, everyone's always talking about we're waiting for this, we're waiting for that. Big money's been in here because they know how to operate in the private. Remember, they can operate in the private sector. We do not know how to operate in the private sector because we've been raised public our whole lives. They are utilizing the private sector and have been utilizing the private sector in order to invest in cryptocurrency without you knowing they're investing in cryptocurrency. What they allow to be shared to the public, what they allow to be put out there to the public is for the public, but there is an amount of information that they keep in it private. So, I mean, like I said, 2018, 2019, family, this is the year. These are the times. People are basically, not even basically, people are actually printing their own form of currency right now and actually being able to get it liquidated with Federal Reserve notes and other world currencies. Now is the time to jump in this thing and start looking at it as a secured party versus as a consumer or a debtor, somebody that wants to go in debt from the utilization of, rather than utilizing the instrument itself and being able to create one's own wealth. Now is the time to do it, family. I'm telling y'all, man. I hope that this was a good build. Let me go back over here and check something out. Wow, 1935. I hope y'all catching these connections too. I hope y'all catching these connections. Let's see what markets is being sold on. Where can we utilize? Let me see. And right now they only got 0.7 BTC. Now they do have 22 Ethereum, but they only have a 24-hour. I mean, okay, 24-hour volume. In fact, because I'm looking at this thing for, I was a lot more. That BTC, get the partners proof of asset. Here we go. This is what I wanted to look at. Here we go. So these are the partners, right? And these are where you can get the BTC from. Wow. Okay. Okay. Air swap. Okay. Let's see. Order book. This is their order book right here. Take a look. A record of all minting and burning of WBTC. There we go. Let's see. So far, token contract 72. And they have over 72 Bitcoins in custody. So right now, as of right now, the WBTC network has over $249,349.08 USD value of BTC held within their trust for those that are choosing to utilize and transact with the WBTC itself. Wow, this is amazing, family. I hope y'all catching what's going on here. Man, this blowing my mind. Like, this is crazy. I know y'all probably like, man, why is he so? Because the more you know, the more a lot of this makes sense. Study not only cryptocurrency, study the difference between operating in the public and your private capacity, and then study trust. Study contract law. Study how entities are operating in a trust. Study how you yourself have a trust that you are a trustee of. No, okay, you're the trustee of a trust that was created by an outside entity. So just real quick, I'm gonna boil this down. Your social security number was created by the Social Security Administration in the form of a trust. You're the trustee of that trust account. So you act in place of the trust. You understand what I mean? Real interesting when you get into researching that and then you see what they're doing with cryptocurrency. It's all going to make sense, family. Until the next video, until the next podcast, I want to thank everyone that was able to tune in and catch this play. The video on YouTube. For those that want to listen, you can, man, I love the amount of attention that I'm getting the podcast. I love the amount of attention that I'm getting the podcast. Definitely continue to stay tuned. For those on the YouTube world that may choose to start listening to this on the podcast, what I'm going to start doing is leaving the link to, that's what I'm going to start doing. Every video that I also do a podcast to, I'm going to leave a link to that video. I'm going to leave a link to the podcast in the description of the video. So I'm going to do that for the crowd that may not want to be on YouTube watching this and just may want to ride and listen. So I want to thank everyone that's definitely going to come in, tune this in, check this out. For those that do wish to donate, and donations are definitely appreciated. You can hit the Cash App at ALAMIRAK. Once again, that's $ ALAMIRAK, Alamarak. And you can, for those that may want to donate using Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, Dash, any of the others, you can email me at Cryptonomic Consul, CRYPTOCONSUL @gmail.com. To the next video, until the next podcast, this is the Mayor of Chicago, Crypto Hustler, Bitcoin Block Bully, representing New Money Matrix. I'm out of here, family.